Hello Year 1 and welcome to Lesson 2 in our science. What group do I belong to? As with all our lessons, we always start with our knowing more, remembering more. If you have the sheet in front of you, you can pause the video at any time to answer these questions. Let's go through them one at a time. Question 1. We hear through our eyes. Is this true or false? Question 2. Animals need what to survive? A. Water, food and shelter. B. Water, food and oxygen. C. Love, water and food. Or D. Toys, food and oxygen. Question 3. What are animals? Animals need food and water to live, just like us. And our last question, what is the property of a material? Okay, let's go through the answers. We hear through our eyes, true or false? This answer is false. We hear through our ears. Animals need what to survive? Animals need water, food and oxygen to survive. What are animals? Animals are living things. Animals need food and water to live, just like us. And what is the property of a material? It's the words used to describe a material. Okay, let's find out what we're learning about today. So today we are doing, what group do I belong to? And over this lesson, we're going to see if we can answer all of these three things. I can recall the main difference between a vertebrate and an invertebrate. I can name the 5 vertebrate groups, and I can identify different mammals. Let's find out. Okay, let's discuss. You can pause the video here and talk to someone in your house about this question. What were some of the similarities and differences between the animals in our learning last week? Have a think back at the animals that you looked at last week. I've got 2 of them here. What was the same about them and what was different? Okay. How can we group our animals? Today we're thinking about how we group the animals. Well, we can group animals by whether they have a backbone or not. So we've really got to think about how the animals are made up. Which of these animals have a backbone? And here we've got some examples of some animals. You can see from the picture that these animals have a backbone. And the backbone is this part of the skeleton here. The fish has got a long one, the dolphin's got a long one. This could be a dog or a cat. And even the bird has got a backbone. What are vertebrates? Animals that have a backbone are called vertebrates. The major group includes fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. And here are some examples of animals that have got vertebrae. We're going to watch a short video now all about vertebrates.
This is Blob. Blob can't do much. like lift his own head. He doesn't even have a head. If Blob had been born with a spine or backbone, he would have been a vertebrate. If we give Blob some legs and a head, then he can start to move about. There are lots of vertebrates in the animal kingdom. They include dogs, lions, ducks, frogs, and of course, you.
Wow, that gave us a good insight into what a vertebrate was. Let's find out what an invertebrate is. An invertebrate are animals that don't have a backbone. They're called invertebrates. Some have soft bodies like worms and slugs and jellyfish. Other invertebrates like insects, spiders and crustaceans have a hard outer casing called an exoskeleton. This protects their body a bit like a suit of armor. Here are some of the animals. We're going to watch a short clip now all about invertebrates.
Meet Blob. He is an invertebrate. This means that he has no backbone or spinal column. Blob is a very simple invertebrate, just like worms or jellyfish. Over 96% of all the animal species on Earth are invertebrate. They can be tiny, like an insect, or huge, like the giant squid.
Wow, there are lots of animals that are invertebrates. Okay, one of your tasks today is to sort and work out which animals are vertebrates and which are invertebrates. If you have the sheet in front of you, you can pause the video here and have a go at sorting them out. And you've got a challenge at the bottom. Can you write your own definition of vertebrates and invertebrates? Well done, children, for sorting out the pictures. Let's go through the answers now. You can check to see if you've got them right. Here, I've sorted the animals into vertebrates and invertebrates. I've worked out which ones have got a spine and which ones don't. I hope you all got the same answers as me. So children, there we go. We have done the first part of our lesson. We can recall the main difference between a vertebrate and an invertebrate. Let's find out a little bit more about vertebrates. There are 5 main groups, and I've got some pictures of them here on the screen. I wonder if you know what the 5 main groups are called. Let's go through them together. First, we have mammals. Mammals, my example here is a chimpanzee. Then we have fish, and you can see I've got some fish on my poster. Then we have amphibians. Now my amphibians on this poster are my frog, and you could also have my tortoise, which is a reptile or an amphibian, and we've got my snake as well. And finally, we've got the birds. So we've got mammals, fish, amphibians, reptiles, and birds. All of these have vertebrae. Mammals, let's look at them more closely. Mammals usually have hair or fur on them. We are mammals. We have hair. Fish. Fish live in the water. They have fins instead of legs and gills instead of lungs. Birds. Birds have a beak and wings and feathers. Amphibians. Amphibians live equally on land and on water. They are smooth. Reptiles. Most reptiles live on land, and most reptiles have scales, just like my lizard in this picture. Reptiles versus amphibians. Reptiles and amphibians are easy to get confused. Notice the difference in their skin. When we think of our reptiles, we think of them being scaly. Our amphibians look similar to our lizards and our reptiles, but they often have a soft, slimy skin because they go in water. Here's another challenge for you. Can we sort the animals below? Can you say which animals have fins and which animals have fur? Pause the video here and talk about it with someone in your house. Okay, let's have a look. Well, I've managed to sort them into my two categories. I've got my shark and my dolphin, they have fins. And my bear and my squirrel both have fur. Where would the caterpillar go? Does the caterpillar have fins? Does the caterpillar have fur? Okay, can you describe some similarities and differences between these groups? Have a think and pause the video and talk to someone in your house. Well done, children. We've achieved the second part of our lesson. Can I name 5 vertebrate groups? Now we've just got one bit left. Can I identify different mammals? This is a task for you to do independently at home. Can you identify which of the animals are mammals and which of them are non-mammals? You've got a sheet that looks just like this with all the animals on. Can you label each of the animals using my word bank? Pause the video here and have a go at doing it at home. Well done, children. We have achieved all 3 parts of our lesson today, and you've done really well sorting out your animals. We've got one final thing to do, reviewing the knowledge. I wonder if you can answer any of these questions based on what you've learned today. What are vertebrates? Well, vertebrates are animals that have backbones. What are invertebrates? Invertebrates are animals without a backbone. Can you name the 5 groups of vertebrates? Yes, I can. They're mammals, reptiles, birds, fish, and amphibians. Amphibians and reptiles are the same. True or false? False, they are not the same. What are humans classified as? Humans are classified as mammals. Well done, Year 1. You've done really well with your science today.